Team, happy Friday. Welcome back to another YouTube video. I'm saying happy Friday because that is what the day is currently right now. I've picked up the camera a little bit late. I'm currently at home. Obviously, as you can see, I have a really busy weekend coming up. I've actually had a really busy week, to be fair. One of those weeks where me and Zoe seem to pass each other. She leaves the house, I enter the house, and we kind of just crisscross all week because we're doing different things. I mean, it's great being busy and I wouldn't have it any other way, and it's great that I'm still sleeping in my own bed every night. But yeah, it's definitely been one of those weeks, and that's why I haven't picked up the camera just yet. In terms of this weekend though, I'm actually about to head up to North Yorkshire to Catterick, back to my regiment for a mess function this evening. Obviously, I am still serving in the military until the 1st of January, so tonight will actually be probably my last ever time wearing uniform while serving in the regular army, which you can see is hanging up there, good to go for a function this evening. What happens when people do a full career, full 22 years in the army, they get a dine out. I did 12 years, so I did not qualify for a dine out, but I'm going to someone else's dine out this evening, someone that I know quite well, so they've just finished 22 years, maybe 24 years actually. They finished a long time in the army, put it that way. I think there's a few of them actually. So I'm going to go up, see them off, also say goodbye to a lot of other people that I've served with over the last few years, last 12 years. I think that'll be it really in terms of my time wearing uniform for January, and then that'll be it. Mess dress can go away in a cupboard or it can get sold to someone that's going to need it. Yeah, I won't need that after that. And if I do go back, I'll go back as a civilian guest. It'll be Mr. Danny Ray, and I'll be wearing sort of black tie, dressed in a civilian dinner suit as opposed to mess dress, which I definitely will do over the next few years, especially when like my best friends start to have their dine outs and whatnot. So yes, busy weekend ahead. After that, I'm traveling to the gym in Middlewich, the Red On gym. We're hosting a big weekend of Hyrox simulations. So that's our first sort of big events weekend, if you like. We've been running classes over the last couple of weeks, which is great. And the community is growing, and we're getting like some really amazing little pockets of groups that are all coming in, and people are meeting each other for the first time, and it's class. It's really, really good to see. So that's ongoing. But then we've also, what we actually opened our doors for originally was for the Hyrox simulation space, so people can come and do a Hyrox race from start to finish on all the official equipment. So that's happening Saturday and Sunday, which was fully sold out, which is amazing. So I'll show you a little bit of that as well. In terms of my own training, obviously you guys know about the knee injury that I'm having. Some of the comments were really funny, and I've had like messages as well, even like family members, like they watch my YouTube and they seen some of the stuff that I was doing whilst training, whilst injured, and it's kind of like, why are you doing all this when you're injured? Now the type of injury I have is hamstring tendinopathy. I really struggle to say that word for some reason. And with a tendon issue, they need load. So squatting is fine. Basically gym-based movements and cycling, all that sort of stuff was absolutely fine. Even the power-based stuff where you see the Bulgarian split squat jumping into the air, absolutely fine. It's certain movements such as running or walking uphill or walking upstairs where I'm at that full extension. Even cycling when you've got your feet clipped into pedals and you're twisting them out, that was painful. So yes, in a nutshell, to expand on from last week's vlog, which was heavy on the injury issue that I'm dealing with, this week has kind of not been too great, and I've just fully put it on the back burner, and I've been training sort of upper body and whatnot. Haven't really been able to do a great deal of training because even walking and rowing and cycling is causing me issues. Apart from today, I've woke up today and I'm feeling good, so we'll see how we get on. I had a scan on Wednesday. I'm yet to hear back what the findings are. I had a dream last night that I had 2 tendon issues, not just one, so hopefully that dream isn't true. But yeah, I should get some news on that and then be able to build a bit of a plan going forward. The injury is obviously really frustrating for me. I've had to pull out of France, which I'm meant to be racing this weekend. I probably won't race London, and at this stage, you know, who knows if I can even race after Christmas at the minute. Me and Liam still got invited to Melbourne for the Elite 15 doubles, which would have been amazing to go and do, and it's just one of those things where it's hard to say no, but I've got to a point now where I have to say no to these things for my own sort of health and longevity. The last thing I want is to have a hamstring tendon problem for, you know, the next 10 years. So I know it sounds all a little bit far-fetched, but I need to get this really nailed down so I can actually train properly. Yeah, build some continuity. Anyway, I've waffled on. Welcome back to another YouTube video. Right, what I thought I'd quickly do is just show you my my protein order that I've got for the next sort of 3 months. Now, what I tend to do when I get a big order is I get it all in one go. It's just the simplest way for me to do it because I am using all this stuff actively every single day. There's a few staple items that I have in there. Yeah, I just order all these bits. That's sort of going to keep me going for the next few months. Now, there is the first thing I'm going to show you that I got in my recent order is the most important thing, the thing that I have every single day, and I always talk about this in all of my vlogs, and that is creatine. Now, typically what I used to do was get like a little tub of creatine and just have sort of 3 grams every day. It's the most researched product, sort of performance supplement that there is, and sort of more recent research and guidance that I get off of other people is telling me to have more like 10 grams a day down to my body weight and whatnot. So I have 10 grams of creatine every day, which is quite a lot. So what I've got myself for the next 3 months is a really sort of big tub of that. So I've been using the My Protein Pro range, and as you can see here, that is a kilo of creatine, Crepure. Yeah, so Crepure is like an advanced formula of creatine monohydrate. So I've got a kilogram of that, and that's gonna last me about 3.5 months, I think, if I've got my maths correct. So that is me good to go from a creatine standpoint. If you haven't got creatine, have a bit of a research, have a Google, have a look at what it does for you, okay? It is fantastic. I'm literally just gonna hand pick supplements that I've got in my cupboard that I got on my most recent order. Next one is some cordyceps gummies. This is gonna help with your sort of overall heart health, if you like. For someone like me that's training every day, this is gonna get me those extra few percent that I need. Absolutely not essential, but if you're someone that's training actively and you just wanna be able to find that extra 1, 2, 3, 4%, you know, increase that VO2 max slightly, do a bit of research on cordyceps. These are another good thing to have into your stack. Another thing I've got is Alpha Men. If you read the back of that, there is no end of different vitamins and minerals that are in there. Just some really important ones like magnesium and zinc. It's all going to help with recovery. We've got vitamin C in there, which is going to help with your immune system. It's endless. There's so much. But I know when I'm having 2 of these every day, I'm getting a good amount of vitamins. That is also going to supplement what I have from food. Right, what else have we got? As you can see, we're super organised in this house now. In there is citrulline malate, okay? It comes in a bag just like that. I didn't actually get any on my recent order because I've got a lot of this, but if I'm going to show you creatine, I also need to show you the citrulline malate that I've got. That basically dilates your veins and allows you to essentially get a bit of a pump when you're in the gym. When you're doing strength training, you'll notice that pump, you'll feel that pump, and it's in all pre-workouts. Now I buy it separately just so I can have a little bit more of it. I think in typical pre-workouts, you're gonna have 3 grams of creatine, 1 or 2 grams of citrulline malate. I like to have 10 citrulline, around 10 of creatine, and then some electrolytes in there. So I like to put the separate components in there as well. Just going on to separate components, what I always do every day is my 10 grams of creatine into my electrolytes. But what My Protein have done is they've absolutely simplified that process with Electro Power, which has got all your electrolytes, so sodium, magnesium, potassium, and then also 5 grams of creatine. So I'll have this in the morning before doing a workout, maybe throw a bit of citrulline in there as well. And then later on in the day, I can have that extra 5 grams of creatine that I need maybe post-session. So this is a much easier way to do it if you just want all-in-one bang for your buck. My Protein Pro range, Electro Power. Right, there again, there's no end of stuff. But going more into the nutrition side of things and less about supplements, we have got, again, it's the My Protein Pro range, the energy gel. This has got electrolytes in there and it's also got carbohydrates. I think, yeah, 30 grams of carbs per gel, which is fantastic. I have got 3 boxes of these for the next 3 months. That's 60 gels. I'm not even confident that will last me that long because I do go through the gels quite a lot. I'm not just sort of having gels willy-nilly. There's a lot of sort of like food timing around them, and when I actually use them, I'll have food before a session and I get myself carved up. But during a session, if it's going to go over 60 minutes, then I've got carbs because the carbohydrate stores are only really going to last for that long. An example being, I go into the gym, I go and do an hour of strength, and then I'll go and do an hour of easy bike. If I just had an hour of easy bike without the strength, I'm fine, I've got enough carbs. But if I go and do a bit of strength work beforehand, I'll take a couple of gels with me and I'll probably have a gel halfway through. I'll have a gel after 20 minutes and then one after 40 minutes. That's an example. And then if I've got any sort of long aerobic sessions, gels are fantastic. Now, if gels are not your jam and you want something a little bit different, this is a very good alternative, okay? Something that's got a bit of sustenance to it, basically. The energy chews, and they're really small as well. I love these, I take these with me. I've actually had these during a race and I have these during sessions as well. Again, 23 grams of carbs and 120 milligrams of sodium. So if you're like me and you're a salty sweater and you have, like, when you finish a session, you've got all the salt down the side of your face, then you need to be replenishing electrolytes during your session. There's a bit of a thing at the minute where people are kind of just having electrolytes all day, every day. You get electrolytes from your food, but during a session or before a session, it's good to replenish electrolytes when you're working out. That just allows you to stay hydrated. Okay, I think that's everything in that cupboard that I want to show you. Now, for the most exciting thing that was on my recent MyProtein order, and something that is probably the first thing that go into my basket. All right, creatine's the first thing. This is the second thing that will go into my basket every single time, and I'll show you. MyProtein oat flapjack. They've got a couple of these. They've got chocolate chip and they've got original. Now, for those of you that may follow a different sort of MyProtein athlete ambassador affiliate, I can guarantee you ask them about the MyProtein oat flapjack, they'll all have it in their basket. This stuff is fantastic. It's got carbs and protein. So this is sort of post-workout snack that I like to have. When you finish a session, you know, whether it's a strength session or something that's quite intense, your body wants carbs and protein to replenish. And that also sets you up for success for any future sessions. So if you're away from the office, you're away from the kitchen, you're away from your lunch, make sure you've got a few of these in your gym bag. Okay, it's gonna give you a quick 20 grams of protein, 37 grams of carbs. Yeah, I have these every single day without fail. I always have these in my gym bag. So yeah, that is, from a sort of supplement and nutrition standpoint, that is everything I got from my recent MyProtein order. You can also get anything you like site-wide from MyProtein using my code DannyRay. That will get you 10% off. We are coming up to Black Friday, so keep your eyes peeled for plenty of deals on the MyProtein website. My code will get you extra discount on top of those deals as well. Get yourself set up, ready for future training, whether you're gonna do that for the next couple of weeks or you're like me and you're gonna get yourself set up for 3 months. If you're gonna take anything from what I've just spoke about there, absolutely creatine, do your research. If you're training regularly, it is a no-brainer. And also the flapjack, all right? Tell me your opinion on the flapjack after you had it, because it's fantastic. But anyway, that is enough waffling from me. Physio's just messaged me to say that my scan's come back. He's just said, extremely interesting, we'll call to go through it, when's good for you? Free anytime. I've been desperate to see this. He sent me a PDF. Conclusion. Oh, I have no idea what's going on here. There's a lot of big words. Oh no, this doesn't sound nice. Chronic oblique sagittal delamination tear cleft noted within the distal biceps femoris tendon arising in the intramuscular portion, extending distally into the insertion. No features to suggest recent tendon injury. The unusually lateral position at the biceps femoris insertion on the fibula may contribute to tension overload in the tendon. It's a potential cause for the chronic intrasubstance delamination tear. Early degenerative changes in the proximal tibiofibular joint with chondral thinning and small volume formation on the fibula head. Everything's intact. Medial and lateral meniscal roots are intact. I really don't know what I'm reading here. I'm not qualified enough, but my heart is absolutely pounding because I don't know what's going on here. Fibular collateral ligament inserts laterally onto the fibula head, merging with the lateral perineal fascia insertion, also reflecting anatomical variation. Now, perineal, is that not like a nerve? Small loculated effusion is noted in the anterior recess of the proximal tibiofibular joint. Small volume osteophyte production is noted at the anterior and lateral margins of the proximal tibiofibular joint with diffuse chondri thinning on the fibula head. Some sort of joint problem, maybe there's like a bit of rubbing. I don't know. I'll wait for the call from the physio for a proper conclusion, but if anyone's medically qualified and understands what I've been talking about there, who knows. Anyway, it'd be rude not to have a little lawn diaries inclusion. So, lovely gift from our friends Gemma and Laith. They got me a perfect lawns practical guide, nice and simple. And then just to add to that, I am getting prepped for next year. I've got myself a hose, so that's going to be key. That's going to be key for a really good lawn. I posted on my Instagram story the other day about entering like a lawn competition. Was a big joke, by the way. The lawn is not looking good. I had lots of messages on Instagram like, are you being serious? Do you actually think that would win a competition? Obviously not. I can't wait for my physio to call me. He only messaged me 5 minutes ago. Sorry, Binners, I'm super impatient. I'm obviously going to listen to what he's got to say in a minute, but I've just asked ChatGPT. It's a tool that's there to be used. Summary of findings. 1, main injury. You have a chronic oblique sagittal delamination tear within the distal biceps femoris tendon, part of the hamstring complex. The tear starts inside the muscle and extends 35 millimeters down into the tendon insertion on the fibula head. That's where I'm getting all the pain. That's why it's so sharp. Importantly, there are no signs of a recent acute tear. This is a long-standing... I've had this tear for 3 months and I had an MRI. I had an MRI 9 weeks ago and it never found this tear. And the reason it never found this tear is because it was meant to be a knee scan, but they scanned my whole pelvis, so it wasn't in enough detail. There are no signs of a recent acute tear. This is a long-standing overuse type injury. Your fibular head is unusually broad, I know that, it's got extra growth, shaped differently from typical anatomy. Your bicep femoris tendon inserts in an unusually lateral position with a single footprint. Most people have more than one, so it's connected at one point. Your fibular collateral ligament also inserts in an unusual position, merging with the peroneal fascia and sitting anterior to the bicep femoris. These variations mean the tendon is placed under greater mechanical tension and friction, especially during running. My key takeaway from that is I can't run long distances then. Early degenerative changes at the proximal tibiofibular joint. These are early wear and tear signs likely secondary to the altered mechanics at the fibular head. Everything else is normal and healthy ligament wise. There's no joint effusion, no signs of instability. Conclusion: you have a chronic tear of the bicep femoris tendon. I know there was an issue, I didn't know there was a tear, and it's caused and maintained by unique anatomy, so the way that my bone is grown, which I think I've mentioned my extra bone growth last week. This is not a fresh tear. It's structural long-standing overload injury that flares when you increase load, like running 100 kilometers. In simple terms, this is a chronic hamstring. It won't behave like a typical hamstring strain. It's a slow healing, load sensitive tendon injury. What this means for your training, well, there we go. A few months of rehab on the cards for me, I think. Hey mate.
Good morning, how are you?
I'm good. I'm a bit nervous reading all of that, to be honest.
You've got the strangest knee.
Well, I've made it to North Yorkshire. I've made it back to Catterick. The mess function's in a few hours, but I had to stop off on the way to a tailor that I know. Here, I've got my miniature medals for this evening. The first, yeah, is it the last time I'll ever wear these? It probably is. Yeah, I'll never wear these again, actually. I'll wear them tonight with my mess dress, and will I ever wear them again? Maybe if I come back wearing a black tie, you wear your miniatures, but don't tend to wear miniatures. And then I've got my my bigger medals for like remembrance parades and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm gonna head over to camp now and get myself sorted for this evening. Got my mess dress in there, needs squaring away, and then I probably won't be able to show you what's going on because it's the sort of place where you don't really take phones, cameras, kind of what goes on there stays there. And to be honest, I just want to like enjoy it with my friends that I've not seen in a while anyway. So the next time I see you will probably be in the morning when I'm heading back to the Red On Gym to host a simulation. Hopefully I will have a good night, I'm sure I will. The banter and the crack is just unmatched. You won't find better banter anywhere than in the army, especially with people that you've known for years and you've progressed through your career with. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I think it's much needed at this point, given the situation with the knee, which I'm probably not going to talk about anymore because it's going to bore you all to death. But even walking around today, I think because I know what the crack is now, I know that I've got pain in my knee for a certain reason. I'm now like overcompensating, and I genuinely do have to limp a little bit because it does feel quite sore. So yeah. Anyway, less about the knee, more about having a bit of fun with my muckers. So yeah, I'll catch up with you guys tomorrow. I have been absolutely nailed. Just talking about sort of the military crack and the military banter and the banter you have with your friends that you've known for years, it is just completely unmatched, right? I have driven back to camp, my old camp that I spent many years at for the first time in a long time. And when I rocked up to the gate, the young trooper, I showed him my ID card, and his first question was, "Oh, are you Sergeant Danny Ray?" I was like, "Yes, mate." And he's very bold. I was a bit confused. He went, "Can I have a picture?" I went, "Have you got your phone on the front gate?" He went, "Yeah, it's in my pocket." But really, because he was so bold and confident about it, I was kind of a bit like, fine. And I'm like technically transitioning out, so my moral compass was all over the place. Like, obviously he shouldn't have his phone on him on the front gate, but then he's asking me for a picture, and I'm just kind of like, what on earth do I do in this situation? Found it quite funny. Something's not going on. Something's up right now. And he went, "Yeah, you'll see that later anyway." And there's me thinking, right, does he mean he's going to send it to me, or he's going to like tag me in this picture or whatever? And as I'm driving on, it clicked, so I quickly pretty much slammed my brakes on, popped my head out the window. I was like, "Mate, I know exactly what's happened here. This picture's going to end up in the mess later and all my friends are going to show me, aren't they?" And he went, "Yeah, I'm not too sure." "Yeah, I think so." And I was like, "Who's told you to do that?" And he went, "Tom Jeffries." So Tom Jeffries, one of my best friends, absolutely up to no good. I knew something was up. Never does a trooper stand on the front gate with their phone in their pocket ready to take a selfie. I should have knew then, but to be fair, I did know something was going on. I've been at camp 2 minutes and the banter is already flowing. I'm thinking, why would he want a picture with me? I probably worked with him a couple of years ago. Anyway, I best go catch up with all my friends. Look at that. This is the pit for tonight. I'm a Barnsley fan for today, which is good. Mess function done. I'm now back at work, back at the Red On Gym for a big weekend of simulations. We've got someone currently running around at the minute, individual female open weights, absolutely smashing it. And then we've got Ben, who's about to go who's driven all the way up from Portsmouth. So kudos to Ben.
So when I press start on here,
So we've got a proper timing system so we can track it. There'll be a leaderboard, and then if you ever come and do a simulation here, you've always got your time.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's
go, mate.
Let's go.
So yeah, that's Ben. Travelled all the way from Portsmouth for a simulation at Red On Gym. What a legend. And I'm sure other people will come and travel here and do sims once they see what kind of setup we've got going here. So as you can see, we've got this little timing system on there, and then you've got me and Dan tracking it, judging, and then getting all the splits. And the ambition will be, I'm not going to come off this, but the splits are on a leaderboard. Have you got a leaderboard? In fact, you're tracking as well, aren't you? Yeah, so we've got the leaderboards on there, and then all of your times will be registered into that system database. We've also got the leaderboard here, where we've got the fastest 15 times stuck on the magnetic board with the strips. And then eventually what we'll have is a screen up there with your times. So yeah, proper simulation setup.
We've also got a bouncer.
We've also got a bouncer, yeah.
We're getting him an armband for next week.
Great work,
Well
Anna.
done, Anna.
Nice, mate. There we go. First sub 60 solo of the day. Ben all the way up from Portsmouth. Smashed it. Love to see it. We've got a lad called Joe on at the minute who said he found out about this simulation from watching my vlogs, which is unreal. And yeah, he's smashing it. Set off really quick. So Joe, if you're watching this, I felt for you after the sled push, because you put down some serious run splits. But holding well, looking strong. I'm at the gym. It's absolutely hoying it down, and we are on day 2 of our weekend. Apologies, we're on day 2 of our weekend of Hyrox simulations at the Red On Gym in Middlewich. Me and Mike have done this morning, judging and running the simulation, and now Gaz and Isaac are taking over for this afternoon. So I'm going to go home. Me and Zoe are going to have a lovely roast, which is fantastic. But I'm just currently watching Zoe's hairdresser, Harry. He's come down to do a simulation. He is on the ski erg, absolutely smashing it. So Harry, if you're watching, well done, mate. I'm going to go home, enjoy the rest of this rainy Sunday, go and look after a wife who might have a little bit of a sore head because she was out last night with her friends for a birthday meal. So I'm on husband duties today. I might have to film my outro with the camera pointing that direction, purely because I've just edited that vlog back and it is basically in my face for 20 minutes, and I do apologise about that. Yeah, this weekend obviously I was a bit of an injury update, and then went to North Yorkshire and I couldn't really show what I was actually getting up to up there. Yeah, we had some simulations yesterday, and then when we came home I was fully on husband duty. Me and Zoe went for a nice roast dinner, and then we just had a nice chilled Sunday, so I didn't really pull the camera out too much, and that is why most of this vlog is this. And I do apologise about that, because normally I'm doing some sort of gym stuff, or I've got something else going on, or whatever. But yeah, this vlog was more focused on sort of the injury update side of things. After getting that MRI come through and then speaking with the physio, we're still kind of undecided what to do going forward. I'm just kind of getting different opinions from different people. Obviously my physio is doing the same as well. I myself are leaning towards like just the rehab side of things. I've obviously got a bit of a tear in my hamstring tendon and hamstring, so I know what I'm dealing with now, and that's kind of what I want to push forward with. And yeah, and just try and get back to fitness as quickly but as also as safely as possible, because I don't want this to happen again. If anyone's got experience with this type of injury, obviously all the other stuff going on with like extra bone growth and joint stuff, you know, whatever, but in terms of getting a hamstring muscle tendon recovered, anyone's got any guidance, how long it was before they were running again, or at least sprinting or competing or doing anything like that, I would love to know. I was probably more despondent last week about it, not really knowing what I was dealing with, but now I know what I'm dealing with. I'm kind of a bit more focused on it, and I'm just really looking forward to doing rehab. It's been such a roller coaster over the last few months, going from not really running, being able to bike all the time, being sick of the bike and just wanting to run, to then being able to run again, to not being able to run, and then not being able to bike, or I just can't wait to be able to use the bike now. Even now, you know, biking does give me a little bit of jip. So if anyone's been here before, I completely see how frustrating it is now, because I'm absolutely living it. But if anyone's got any sort of advice or guidance or things that they use to get through it, that'd be really appreciated. When I say things to get through it, this is a recent purchase for me. I'm going to be getting the Zogs out, getting some swimming done, and yeah, just anything I can do to try and keep my aerobic base intact. I mean, everything's going to take a little bit of a hit, that's a given, but yeah, if anyone's got any advice, that would be hugely appreciated. But yeah, thank you to everyone that watches YouTube. That should clear things up in terms of injury. Going forward, my training will look slightly different now, so where you might have seen some threshold intervals on the treadmill and doing Hyrox training, you're going to see a lot of rehab, a lot of upper body, some swimming, and yeah, it's going to be a while before you see me running or doing any sort of intensity again. But yeah, I think for those of you that watch my YouTube every week, going forward, you're going to be joining me on a bit of a journey through my rehab, and I'm sure I'll come back stronger. When that is, I don't know. I haven't really got a time frame on it, but the most important thing now is just getting it rehabbed and getting it squared away. But yeah, I'll see you on the next one.